Hi there, everyone. Good afternoon. Welcome to the Network Blitz webinar. I am Lauren Bernard, and I'm a doTERRA business leader and coach. I'm a holistic lifestyle and yoga teacher, wife and mother of two. And I'm doing this webinar today specifically for those of you on Team Evolution who have committed to the Evolve program, which is a 90-day program to really launch some momentum in your business and really getting yourself to that first meaningful rank. And so we mapped out Mentor Session 1 that there would be 2 additional webinars this month of February. Today our goal is to go over what is a network blitz. And basically this is setting aside a certain amount of time to reach that contact base that you've put together. So if you haven't done so already, get out your names list, your memory refresh, and if you have at least 100 people or so, you're going to be so set up for momentum in business long term. So I highly recommend that you spend some time doing that before this. Initially, when I did this, I kind of just went through my contacts that were in my phone and Facebook on Messenger, and that's awesome too. But I'm telling you, to set yourself up for success, doing this work in the beginning is going to save you so much time. You're not going to let leads fall through the cracks, and you're really going to be more on top of yourself and being more accountable with your intentions in what you want to do to be successful. So, Ready, Set, Blitz, what is this? Basically what this is, for our intention, you are getting rolling. So this first blitz is just getting the word out there, sharing your excitement, sharing what you're doing, and inviting people to come and experience your classes that are going to be next month. So one of the things that I asked you all to do was to take a look at your calendar and to schedule those regular classes for March or the following month. So this is to be done preparing for a whole month where you have some regular classes on the books. And this is basically just mass contacting to everyone in your sphere of influence. So via a quick text message or a Facebook message, possibly even an email if you don't have either of the other 2 formats, but ideally, or it could be even face-to-face. A lot of times there would be people who I know maybe at parent pickup for preschool or elementary school. And having something like a physical sample and an invitation would be a great contact that could definitely be part of this blitz. So where you're intentionally setting up some time, but definitely be doing that on a daily basis in this month to get people to your classes. Keep those samples and invitations on you at all times. You never know when the opportunity is going to arise for someone to strike an interest. Okay, so the process works like this. So in the month, this month, perhaps next week, pick 2 time slots so that you can reach different groups of people. So for example, it's suggested that 10 o'clock a.m. and 7 p.m. are going to be your optimal times for reaching 2 different groups of people. So 10 o'clock is kind of that ideal first nap time of the day for moms who are home with little ones. And then of course 7 p.m. is a great time for those 9-to-5ers. So pick 2 different time slots, maybe 3 in the day. Another one would be sometime like maybe noon. 2 in the afternoon is sometimes a good time for me. I know I kind of like wrapping things up at the end of the day before I pick up my kids. It's kind of a time that I check in on my phone. So I'm not sure what would work best for your group. You decide. But pick 2 in a day or 2. There's no limit to this. So just schedule in as much of this that you can do at a time and sit down for at least 30 minutes each time slot. So you're going to be contacting from 10 to 10:30 and on Tuesday and Wednesday, and from 7 to 7:30 on Tuesday and Wednesday of next week, for example. And then of course, adding and going the extra slight edge and going a little bit further, you can definitely add a 3rd time slot or a 3rd day into there. Don't hold yourself short and try to reach out as many people as possible. So This month, the focus is to invite people to the classes that you have coming up next month. So for me, for example, I have a class in my home every Friday. In the past, I have done every Wednesday evening, so that it's really easy. I can just come off the tip of my tongue. I know when they're going to be. I don't have to look at my calendar and go, oh, this one's at this time and this one's at that time. So I think it makes it really easy on yourself, as we went over in the mentor call. And next month, you're going to be using this same process to invite other people with a second blitz. So in this second one, you're going to, purpose of it will be to line up people to host you teaching classes in the third month. So if you're not sure, thinking about who you're going to invite, make sure you have your list handy or the memory refresh as you go through. Because basically what you're going to do is having your calendar, having your list right in front of you, and you're going to have kind of a script, which some samples I will show you. And of course, you can modify them to your liking at any point in time. That feels natural. You want it to come off organic. One of the things that held me back, one of my fears in doing this initially, was that I never wanted to have sharing oils feel inauthentic. Everything about myself, I like to be as authentic and open as possible. I never want to come off salesy. That was a really big fear that I had in starting this business. And when I came to the realization that I have something to offer to people, and it's helping them in their life, and it does not, with the proper wording, the proper timing, and the right approach, it's simply just a relationship that you're nurturing. And in doing this messaging, you definitely want to do it with that in mind, with respect to your relationships. So once you have your people that you're going to contact, you have all of the contact information in front of you, so their number, or where you're going to reach them, if it's going to be through Messenger on Facebook or email, or if you're going to reach them in person. And then you're going to want to, notate that you've contacted them, or that you're going to get them a sample, and make sure you have all this data, because if you don't have time to follow up and follow through, a lot of people are going to slip through the cracks. So, and basically what you're going to do is just text out whatever your little messages, and then copy and paste it, maybe changing some first names, maybe adding a detail or two based on your relationship to that person, and just send and send and send and send. It creates massive action and momentum, and you will be crazy surprised. I'm going to show you some of the statistics. So I participated in this a couple of times in my time with doTERRA, with our overall, like my upline, your upline. And the results are really, really interesting across the board in doTERRA. So what we've learned is that about 20% of all of the text messages that are sent get a yes to hosting. So if you say, just asking these people, would you be interested in hosting a class, or whatever your details are, about 20% of them will say yes, which may seem like a low number, but in the reality of it, this is incredible for consistent momentum in your business. It will keep things rolling. It will keep things growing. It's amazing what that percentage will do. About 10% might say no, and people will definitely let you know if they just, have a boundary there and they don't want to hear any more about essential oils, and you can leave it at that. Respect that. Don't take it personal. Don't take it offensively. If you're not hearing no, then you are not in this business. It's going to happen sometimes. And the rest of them are going to be no response, and that is okay. I want you to think about this as demonstrating the power of planting seeds. It would be really easy to look at that percentage of people that didn't respond and feel discouraged, right? But 20% are confirmed classes. That's incredible. So 70% will probably take you up on that class offer next time, because no response just means no, not right now. Like, I can't process all this. I don't know, or people just forget and get busy. But don't take it as a no. Ask them again. I have had people who just, the timing was off, and 6 months down the road, they've hosted classes for me, and it's been a wonderful thing. So the other thing that people have told me, and I experienced myself as well, is that they were so surprised about the people who said yes. The people that you don't expect will totally take you up on it. So it's just another thing we always want to keep in mind, not to be judgmental of other people when we're talking to them about doTERRA. You know, don't judge them on they don't have the money to spend. I shouldn't talk to them about this. Don't judge them on a thing. So, and there's even people who I thought initially, oh, they will totally be into this, and they're not. So, you know, just don't judge, but ask. Keep it open and respect people's answers and their wishes. And then have a calendar, you guys, of dates for the next 2 months in front of you so that you can book ASAP. So let's say they say like, yeah, totally, I would love to host a class for you. And you can say, awesome, you know, I have this date and this date, which one works best for you? And that way you can get it on the books right away and continue to follow up and nurture them in the process, which we'll talk more about in the coming mentor calls. So, and the other thing I want to point out is that doing a blitz like this should only really be done 2 or 3 times a year, because you don't want to inundate, dilute your message to your community. You don't want it to be like, you're not welcome here if you don't want to host a class, or, you know, that type of thing. You want there to be this open, continued education, community aspect here. You definitely don't want to do this all the time or every month. The reason that we're doing it 2 months in a row here is because you're just getting started. And first is an invitation process, and the second is to see about hosting. But if you asked everyone in your community about hosting when they know responded on you every month in a row, you can see how that comes up inauthentically. So this can totally be done with grace and is a wonderful thing to do. And the reason that we love doing it through text is because it's direct. You're asking people directly. It's much, much more effective than just like posting on Facebook or creating a Facebook event. While those things can be great for the overall community aspect and sharing with people what's to come when they do say yes, they can come, and keeping track of RSVPs, you can certainly do that in addition to, but never in place of, direct contact with people one-on-one. And definitely just putting it out there like on your own timeline, like, hey, I'm having a class, come. It's not effective. It's not effective for getting people to show up. Okay? So here are some things that you might say. So I have done this many different ways, but this is a real simple script that you can use. Please feel free to write out a couple for yourself beforehand, and then copy and paste whatever feels most authentic to you. But for this is our kickoff month. So this is to get people out to your classes that you have lined up in March for next month. So kickoff text blitz. Hey, Sarah, I'm really excited to share that I will be teaching several essential oil classes next month, and I would love to have you come. They will be every Wednesday in March at 7 p.m. If you're interested in trying out a couple of samples before then, I would love to get you 1 or 2 that would be perfect in supporting any health interests you have. Let me know which Wednesday next month works for you, and I will save you a spot. Okay, so it's a very natural message, and you know, like I said, those responses will start to show and track your numbers. Okay, so and then I would love it if you're participating in this, if you could track those numbers so that we can stay consistent with our data and reporting to our team in the future. Let me know how many texts you send, how many, or you can also talk to the mentor if you have a premier upline that you're working with every week. Let them know how many you send. It's really fun to talk about. I was so surprised. I did a blitz in August and got several classes and had a huge month of enrollments that month. And it was great too. There were some promotions and things going on, so it was a real win-win. And absolutely, this is such a great time for, if you do have anyone enrolling this month, there's in the States, the New Year, New You promo going on, and also the oils that you can earn yourself. So don't hesitate, you know, if you have the opportunity to sit down one-on-one with someone and have coffee like we talked about this month, go for it, get them enrolled, you know, work with your upline, work with me if you have any questions on that process, because it's a great month in February to take advantage of that. But otherwise, just gear yourself up for a really awesome March. So then in March, to friends and family not enrolled, We can say, good morning, I know you've been interested in learning about essential oils. Would you be interested in hosting a class next month? Or, hey, would you be willing to host a class for me next month for your friends and family? I have a free intro kit with your name on it if you say yes. So intro kit is a fantastic hostess gift, and we can talk a little bit more about this in the Class in a Box webinar. But the intro kit is the $20 trio of lemon, lavender, peppermint, and 5 milliliters. And what's awesome is that if they, in the process of after they commit, you can deliver their intro kit and talk to them more about the class itself, get them some samples so they can hand them out to the people who are coming so that you can have a really successful class. And sometimes I like to bring with me a small diffuser. If the class has been a super successful class, maybe 4 to 7 people enrolled, and then at the end of the class, I can give the hostess a diffuser and show all that gratitude. And it's actually a great thing to do because then the people that are at that class enrolling often will volunteer to host a class for you the following month. So booking classes from classes is a really big deal, and we always encourage a giveaway at your class so that you can do a drawing slip and collect people's contact information for when you want to do the next Blitz. It's going to come in really handy to book classes off of classes. So, and then for wellness advocates who you've enrolled or customers, you can say, hoping you're loving your oils. Let me know if you have any friends that would like to learn about them. We can do a class and I'll gift you a few oils you don't already have for yourself yet for hosting. Okay, and then possibly you are going to start to encounter people who are new builders, who are interested in sharing. Maybe they host a class for you. And a great thing to send them a message would be, hey, let's get a class or 2 booked for next month. We'll get your business rolling, and oil into the hands of everyone you know. I'm excited to mentor you as you start this new awesome journey. And of course, all of this Evolve program is going to be available on YouTube. And so you can refer your people who are interested to this program, and you have our overall team support as well. So it's a really exciting thing, you guys. I wish you a lot of luck, and I know you're going to be successful if you can just set aside a little bit of time and get past some of those fears. You're going to have so much fun doing it. I know that a few of our team members who've experienced it have had definitely been through that point. One friend said she had to have a glass of wine before she could push send on all these messages, but went for it, and it was a really great thing with a great outcome. And I think she even earned a promotional oil that month. So it was really great. It definitely gives your business a boost. And then you just stick with it. You stick with that momentum that you build. And that's really the big key in nurturing through that flow cycle that we talked about. So I'll be back again next week to check in and see how your blitzing went. Please, 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 please use the Facebook group to post your results, questions, or just share your experience of doing this. And then next week, we're going to talk about how to teach an awesome class, okay? So you can get everything lined up now that you've got people coming. All right, guys, if you have any questions, of course, check in with your mentor, or feel free to contact me anytime. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and we'll talk to you soon.